Hey, what's up guys? It's Flakfire. It's time for another analysis video, this time on purported concept art for Battlefield 1. Basically, I'm going to look at these images that leaked on Imgur and offer insight on what I noticed, which hopefully falls under fair use as criticism. Also keep in mind this is concept art and things shown here don't always make it into the game. I'm also only looking at the concept art that we have not seen before. So, that said, let's get started. This is going to be a long one. What we're looking at here is a Rolls-Royce armored car used by British forces. Armed with a .303 Vickers machine gun, these machines were used in the Middle East, which is where this shot appears to be. T.E. Lawrence used a squadron of them against Turkish forces. In this image of what is presumably a French chateau, German Fokker DR-1 triplanes appear to be attacking an Entente soldier on the ground who is manning a QF-1 pounder anti-aircraft gun. If you're wondering why it looks like a Maxim machine gun, it's basically because it is, except it fires much larger 1-pound rounds. These weren't particularly mobile, so expect to see them as emplacements in Battlefield 1. I'm not going to hazard a guess on these trucks because I don't have enough to go on, but based on the image, there's a good chance we'll see some chase gameplay in Battlefield 1. This shot appears very Mediterranean based on the architecture. The soldier here is probably Italian and appears to be holding a Bergmann MP-18 submachine gun with a TM-08 32-round drum magazine. Interestingly, this was a German submachine gun. The fact an Italian is holding it hopefully means DICE is moving away from the faction-specific weapon setup we saw in Battlefield Hardline. This shot is probably seen in the Battlefield 1 debut trailer and is likely in the Italian Alps. What's likely a German Halberstadt appears to be attacking a British Lozenge-type tank. This probably confirms bombs for aircraft in Battlefield 1, since the Halberstadt could actually carry them. This is a really cool shot over the trenches, but it's primarily cool because it's from the perspective of someone who is on board an airship. Right here, this is part of the airframe. There's a couple Fokker DR-1 triplanes present, but also check out the surreal contrast between no man's land and the countryside. Nothing too new about this shot other than this is a great shot of a British Sopwith Camel. I enjoy this image because it shows some pretty spectacular flying in a Middle Eastern setting. These kinds of maneuvers were largely absent in Battlefield 4, primarily because jets mostly travel too fast. Hopefully there will be a lot more of these opportunities in Battlefield 1. I'm also wondering if these little streamers here will be a customization option. In this shot, a Commonwealth soldier is running under fire. He's armed with a Lee Enfield rifle, and there's sea visible in the background, so this could be hinting at Gallipoli. Here, there's a German soldier surveying damage from either a bombing run or an artillery bombardment. The architecture appears typical French or Belgian, and it is probably occupied. If there's an urban-type map like this, hopefully DICE will pull out all the stops on destruction. In this image, an Ottoman soldier is firing on Commonwealth soldiers in what is probably a Clino motorcycle sidecar from horseback. He appears to be holding a Smith & Wesson No. 3 revolver. This is probably set in Egypt based on the nearby ruins. This shot showcases a couple new things. I can't identify the aircraft, but will point out it is Italian. The German soldier here is standing next to a torpedo, meaning he's probably on board a torpedo boat. The boat appears small, likely a 1916 class torpedo boat. In a battle at a French chateau, Entente soldiers are speeding away from a flamethrower on a Harley-Davidson sidecar. Interestingly, this sidecar has a machine gun mount, which may be a customization option. In this shot, a soldier takes cover from a machine gun guarding a staircase, and cover is clearly destructible. Inside a house, two soldiers battle in the living room. The soldier on the left is wielding a Winchester Model 1897 trench gun. Here's a very brazen attack by an Italian airplane against presumably German cavalry who are armed with the MP-18. This version here has a box magazine, although supposedly those weren't available until post-war. In this image, German soldiers are fighting an Entente tank amidst urban rubble. This soldier here is holding a specialized cluster anti-tank grenade. Somewhere in the deserts of the Middle East, German artillery and aircraft are firing on a group of Entente armored vehicles. This is the first time we've seen artillery in the concept art. In the background of this shot, there looms a large airship and massive turrets on a fortress. This shot also presumably takes place in the Italian Alps, and these are likely German barrage balloons. Here we're looking at a dogfight over a large airship. The number on the airship is 23, which was never actually used in combat, so we do know DICE is taking some small liberties with history with Battlefield 1. In this concept art, soldiers appear to be raiding a damaged and beached ship near shore. Again, this is probably Gallipoli, soon after or during the evacuation of troops. Here in the trenches is a French soldier, complete with the Adrian helmet and the proper blue uniform. This may also give us a peek at what dynamic weather will do to our battlefields in Battlefield 1. Here's a huge railway gun. It's not clear who it belongs to, though Germany produced several massive rail cannons during World War I. Some of these guns had ranges upwards nearly 90 miles. It also appears well defended with a quadruple anti-aircraft battery here, though I don't think those are historically accurate. Here, presumably British sailors are attacking a large German dreadnought with torpedo boats. This could be alluding to the portrayal of the Battle of Jutland, though the British did not use torpedo boats in that engagement. In this image, Commonwealth troops make an amphibious landing somewhere in the Middle East. Soldiers are charging an impressive fort, and it appears to be at dusk, which is our first indication we may have some night fighting in Battlefield 1. This is likely another French tank, the Saint-Chamond, because of its short tracks. But I do want to point out there is snow in this image, so hopefully we will also be seeing winter combat in Battlefield 1. The soldier here is probably Austrian based on the helmet, which did differ slightly from German helmets of the time. The weapon appears to be a Gewehr 98. Here's another image of the Italian Alps with a British lozenge-type tank. It appears to be the female variation with machine guns instead of the male type with 6-pounder cannons. This may mean that we can customize the tank's armament. This shot illustrates a showdown between a British and German plane. There seems to be some distinct marking on the British plane, so hopefully that will be a spot for a customizable emblem. This image surely depicts a night raid on London by a German Zeppelin. Those occurred several times during World War I. Here, another German Halberstadt biplane is attacking an Entente soldier who happens to be riding on top of a train. On the side of the aircraft, there are 5 trench mortars which were dropped as bombs from the airplane. In this shot, a British soldier is firing from an observation or a barrage balloon. He's aiming at a Hanover CL-3 biplane. Here, a French biplane flies over Entente soldiers at the front. We know it's French because of the roundel, and this could mean the inclusion of the Lafayette Escadrille in Battlefield 1. This was a group of American volunteer pilots fighting before the United States' involvement in World War I. Here we see parachutes confirmed. This is a pilot, presumably American because of his slab-side pistol, bailing out of a crippled airplane. And this image, I love this image. We know it's a standoff, probably between a Central Powers and Entente soldier, but I love the lone poppy on the screen here. That flower became a symbol of World War I as battlefields bloomed with them in the spring, fertilized by the dead. Here's a soldier wearing trench armor. Slung around his neck is an MG-08-15 heavy machine gun. Though stripped down for infantry use, it still weighed 33 pounds, so don't expect to be jogging around with that. This engagement also appears to be in an underground tunnel or cellar. This image shows a flamethrower with a different mask than what we saw in the trailer. Though powerful, I wonder if DICE will balance the weapon with reduced vision caused by this special mask. In this shot, a German soldier with a Lewis machine gun is firing at another British tank. There are records of German soldiers using captured Lewis machine guns, though I doubt he's using it to make much effect here. More trench clubs confirmed. This German soldier is using a variation created by welding a large metal weight or nut onto a steel bar. The unfortunate British soldier is carrying a Lee Metford rifle. In this shot, Fokker triplanes fly over a foreign city. I can't ID the rifle, but it does have a scope, and Battlefield 1 snipers should have plenty to shoot at in-game. In this melee scene, a couple of soldiers are using shovels and trench clubs. This soldier appears to be holding a M1917 knuckle duster trench knife, while this soldier actually has a trench pike. So I hope you enjoyed this rather exhaustive breakdown of the new Battlefield 1 concept art, and this video was interesting and helpful to you. If you have any corrections or you notice something that I missed, please tell me in the comments. Also, like, share, subscribe. I'll be putting out more Battlefield 1 content following EA Play and E3. Thanks for watching.